have that.
Right.
Yeah, like I care.
Jeez.
We have a reputation to uphold.
I got a rep to
You don't know me
protect.
very well, huh?
I got a rep to protect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so stop telling people I get prescriptions, man. I want them to think I'm a thug.
All right, Matt. Well,
Thug life.
it's my birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Peter.
Birthdays. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Happy Monday, everybody. And Steve Light, thank you very much. Kyle
Thank you.
Clayton.
I'll see you Friday.
Yeah, we'll see you Friday. Matt, thank you.
I will see you
We'll
tomorrow.
see you Thursday, too, for Squad Dog.
Squad Dog
Yeah.
Day.
Oh, I'm not going to miss that.
Good. We need the man here, Steve Light.
All right, folks. Keep it right here. You got Matt Connerton Unleashed coming up at 4 p.m., followed by Granite State of Mind. That's all tonight. WMNH. Try to stay warm out there today, folks. Have a great, wonderful Monday. Adios.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
You are listening to WMNH-LP, Manchester's radio, broadcasting at 95.3 megahertz frequency modulation from the top of 1000 Elm Street. Our studios are located at 1045 Elm Street and licensed to Manchester Public Television Service in Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. Contact us by email at WMNH953@gmail.com or through our website at WMNHradio.org.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Here we go. Happy Monday. It's Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester. And hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, merch, and more. Today is Monday, January 19, 2023, and I'm not alone. Jenny is here at the news desk.
Yes, I am.
Hello.
I really like that tune.
That's Voodoo Doll by the band Under a Spell. I've got, they sent us a shirt.
Yes.
And they're going to be on the show
they are
the end of the month, right? Toward the end of the month?
Towards the end of the month, yes. They're actually coming on January 30th.
Where are they from?
They are from Texas.
Oh, very good.
They are from Texas. A great female front on the front. Really like her voice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And I won the t-shirt.
What do you mean?
Actually, they were trying to encourage getting more followers, and they ran a contest. And the people that had come in, because I wasn't a follower, but I am now, they put everybody's names in a hat, and a few of us got picked out for t-shirts.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. Looking forward to having them on.
We also we have a musician coming in this Wednesday, coming into the studio, Ricky Mapleton. We'll play something of his at the break. Very, very unique.
Yes, he's a unique solo artist.
I like him.
Local artist, which of course we love. And I think we might be premiering him. I don't believe he's been on FM radio yet.
Probably not, because what he does not fit a standard FM radio format.
Yep.
So
very unique, very cool.
Yeah. We'll play that. I'm going to play that.
Fun, very fun.
I'm going to play that Control-Alt-Delete song at the break today. I really like that. I just think it's funny.
It is. It's fun.
And very fitting. With my computer here, this Lenovo that I bring in with me, that I bring in and plug in, I often have to hit Control-Alt-Delete.
Oh my.
On it, but you get what you pay for. I didn't pay much for this computer. This IdeaPad. No, it's actually a great computer. It's just every once in a while it gets a little
stuck.
Yeah, if I try to make it do too many things at once, but that is a hazard.
All I can think about is a standard transmission and getting it stuck in like third gear. And
yeah.
Of course, I just dated myself big time because, I really do believe that's the kind of car we should drive because nobody will try and steal it.
Yeah, they don't make them too much anymore. I think there might be a car manufacturer that still makes them.
It was the poor folk car. You
that's
had
how I
money
learned
to afford an automatic transmission back in the day. That was my first
car.
car.
You mean standard?
Standard, yes.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I said. I said it was the poor man's car because you had to have more money to afford an automatic transition.
Gotcha.
Don't correct me. I was right. Dang you. Jeez.
Yeah. No, I learned on a standard. I like driving a standard.
That was my first car. I loved my car.
If you'd like to join us today, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text us at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connerton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can always interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. I believe EZG is going to be joining us in a little bit for a mini entertainment report, as he calls it. So we'll
and a bonus.
We'll see how that goes. It's always
a bonus.
Always an adventure with our friend EZG.
Yes, I want to know about this bonus.
Mm-hmm. And we'll say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat, and then we'll get into some stuff. Jenny, I see you're in there. Shalom,
I'm
peeps.
Everywhere.
EZG also joins us in the chat room and says, hi from the other side. Ha ha, yeehaw. Ready?
Oh, well.
Alex Whiteley, one of our friends from the UK, joins us and says, what's up, guys? Sorry I missed your British guest last week, Jenny. Thanks for the heads up. I was preoccupied at the time, so I missed it. Yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback on Ray Coates. Joined us all the way from the UK, and we premiered, it was a world radio premiere of his new song, Galaxy Starman.
Yeah, he's actually going to be part of a competition, And so what he's doing is he's running a little competition of his own. He's asking people to take a listen to his songs and pick their favorite out of 6, and that's the one he's going to enter into the songwriters competition. So if you got a few minutes, or check out Ray Coates and help him pick out the song that you think would make him come home with the prize from the song competition.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Alex, I will definitely be sure that you know this UK artist. I'm having a blast meeting a lot more artists.
Mm-hmm.
Since this now we're in the new year, we changed some of the things that we do or how we're doing it, and I'm getting to play more in the pool with artists, and I'm having a grand old time.
Yes, yes.
I really am. There's nothing more fun than to be like, hey, you want to come on?
Chris Rose from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts joins us and says, good afternoon. Hi, Chris. Our friend N. Saturn, of course, from Greensboro, North Carolina, says, good afternoon, hashtag Matt Connerton. We say to you from us. And hi, hashtag Jenny Coffee. We say to you from us.
Now, aren't they the original? Wasn't N. Saturn the original?
No, the original is Isaac Banks.
No, the original band. Wasn't the first band N. Saturn?
From Greensboro?
Correct.
No, Isaac Banks was the first. Well,
that's an individual.
But he said he was part of a pop singing group. I think he might be a part of N. Saturn or knows N. Saturn.
Yes, isn't that the original group?
They all know each
before
other.
All the other ones came.
Maybe. It's hard to keep track.
I think it's alternate personalities. They're different bands in different times.
And I think our friend Easy G is on the line already. Hello.
Hey, I figured I'd call up now, and why not call a few minutes early?
Hey, all right. Why not?
Yeah, I got a report already. It only took me like maybe 15, 20 minutes to get off. To get it off. I heard over the years, Eric, you do it too long. You talk about too many things that are 6 years ahead. So I only focused on like 5 items this time. I've heard a lot of,
It was 4.
I've heard a lot of complaints over the years that the report's too long. It talks about stuff that's 4 years at a time or a year at a time. And
yeah, hi, Easy. How you doing?
so I'm trying to listen to all those requests.
You aren't saying that, are you?
I always thought your report's not long enough. I think your report should be a solid 2.5 hours.
I never told show you if my report went up like
What
an
if we
hour,
did
and I was thinking back,
2.25
Eric,
hours?
does it ever end?
So, I'll go ahead and play your intro if you're ready.
Yeah, definitely. I'm ready. You'll be done before you know it.
Wow. Hey, how come I don't have any volume?
Oh, I don't know. You're the one that's supposed to be in charge of those things.
This is weird. I might not be able to play your intro. That's very odd.
Oh, you're a little rusty. I've been
You have to hum a few bars then. Sing them an intro.
I think
December off.
I think I found the problem. I think I found the problem.
There was a leak.
He was
There we
once
go.
a thug from around the way. Easy.
You want to know about stock market crashes, COVID-19, drive-bys, celebrity gossip? Easy G's gotcha. Entertainment report style. That's why I'm easy.
'Cause ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, set, go. Hey, my first report here, I'm going to dedicate it to 3 people. I said, why not?
3 people?
You never know who's listening, right? DJ Reckless, DJ Happy Wheels, and DJ John Midas, who makes these crazy things on the radio. I listened to a show the other day. Said, hey, I was up at 3 in the morning. Said, why not put on John Midas? I listened to like, I don't know, half an hour or something.
Now, who is DJ Happy Wheels?
Damn good.
Who is DJ Happy Wheels, EZG?
The guy that runs the one for Happy Wheels there.
You mean DJ Steve?
Yeah, I call him DJ Happy Wheels.
Why do you call him that?
I don't think he'll mind if he's listening.
Actually, he pulled me aside recently and told me he hates it, and he's going to tell Bruce on you.
All right, DJ Steve, then how's that?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You always say you never know who's listening.
You never know. Bruce is always listening.
Anyways,
Keep that in mind.
Are you going to say something, Matt?
I said Bruce is always listening. Keep that in mind.
Right. And it's a new year, so I'm going to try to listen more and talk less. That's why I say that every year. So bad, Jenny. Let's see if I can do it this year.
You're already off to a rocking start there, buddy.
You know what just occurred to me?
Anyways, we're going to start off with the relays. Coming up around the corner, believe it or not.
Never mind.
What
June
just
3rd,
occurred to you, Maddie?
2020. Everybody knows that. And more than likely it's going to be in Pembroke, but it's going to be announced at 12 a.m. to 10 p.m.
He
and believe
says
it or not,
this
it's a
every
free
year.
event. It's going to be music. And this year will be the 20th year of Rolling for Hope. My team with Angie and Matt, who are the co-captains. And obviously, I like to raise, $1,000 or more. I've already raised over 3,400. Why not shoot for the moons?
Shoot for the
I might
moon.
even have my first donation coming in the
Skyward
mail.
ho.
You know the old saying, check to the mail?
Now,
Wait, that's a bad thing.
you should explain to everyone what the Relay for Life is, Easy, because it's a wonderful.
Yeah, good idea. You always bring that up. Yeah, the Relay for Life is to stop the spread of cancer in the American Cancer Society.
Yes.
As everybody knows, cancer sucks.
Yes. So it's a wonderful cause
So I'm
that you
always
do.
I'm inspired to do something every year and to raise money. I don't like to raise money over 10 different things. I just like to remain focused on one thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do a great job
So
with
see what I
it.
can do
You
this
really
year.
do.
Yeah.
I have a
You
lot of free
absolutely
time on
do.
my hands, so
We're very proud of you.
I'll
You have
have to
a,
do something constructive with it.
you've got a lot of free time on your hands. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Well, I'm not working these days, I keep tracking my crazy health, but
By the way,
that's another story for another day. Nobody wants to talk about that.
by the way,
So anyways,
DJ.
if you want to write a check out to the American Cancer Society, you would send it to P.O. Box. Yeah, P.O. Box 10538 at Bedford, New Hampshire at 03110. I'll repeat that again. You want to send a check out to American Cancer Society at P.O. Box 10538 at Bedford, New Hampshire 03110. And if you wouldn't mind, you can write down below. It says on the bottom of the check, wrote down Rolling for Hope. That's our team name. And you would write my name and Eric Gagnon, so that way our team can get credit for the donation.
What's
like I
the
always say, I don't do raising money for donation. I mean, raising money for gifts, but as you get more points, you get more stuff. But the bottom line is to raise the money. If you get a couple of gifts on the way down, so be it.
What's
I don't do it for that reason.
What's the name of your team?
Rolling for Hope. It's the 20th anniversary, believe it or not.
Rolling for Hope.
Rolling for Hope, yeah. Angie's cousin was his last name was either his last or first name was Roland. I think it's
Roland.
it was his first name. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was because
He
you
died of
guys all
cancer.
had walkers with wheels.
Obviously.
Very good.
I have one too.
It's a wonderful cause, EZG, and we are very proud of you.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
And then we're going to move on to three of my favorite ladies here.
Oh,
So I
hang
figure
on,
who they are
easy,
right now.
easy. I think after every topic, before you move on to the next one, I should give you one of these.
Boy, you should have known by now. Easy dope.
Kind of marks that you're now moving to the
these
next
girls- I
phase
tell you,
of your
these
entertainment.
girls killed it.
Yes.
I didn't do anything, by the way. I just promoted the heck out of them over there. April Christmas, Katie Dobbins, and Amanda McCarthy. Amanda's not any shows coming up. I think she's going to be a little busy with her wedding coming up April 15th. But who's counting, right? But anyways, April Christmas is killing it.
She's killing it.
What you want to do long term is do shows where you actually get paid a lot, money at a
What
real
is he
place.
insinuating here?
So she's got a new song coming out called "Smoke." It's on debuts January 30th. It's pre-saving on Spotify and Apple, and so she's promoting that stuff. And so that is good. And then she's going to be opening up for this big band. You might have heard of them before, Lone Star.
Yes.
And she is the opening act.
Oh,
It's
she's
a paid
op-
event.
she's
It's the
opening
Capitol
for Lone
Theater
Star.
of Arts
Oh.
in Concord, and
That's
the
a
doors
character in
open at 7.
Spaceballs.
Oh.
And the show is at 8, so you can probably get tickets at CapitolTheaterOfArts.com, or you go to the box office.
Uh-huh.
And before that, she's playing at the Cake Theater. That's where Recycle Percussion and the boys play.
The Cake?
And
I like
it's going to
cake.
be her
Chocolate
and
cake?
Isaiah. I can put my glasses on. Hang on a second.
Oh, yes.
Is he
Talk
going to
among
give me a
yourself.
piece of chocolate cake?
Yeah. Take your time,
All right, hang on.
Easy.
I
Can't
want
read
a
my own
piece
writing.
of
Hang on.
chocolate
Hang on
cake.
about a minute. I'll be right back.
What is he gonna? What is we? What?
He has to go get his glasses. No, you know what I was going to say earlier, and DJ Steve is in the chat room. I've never seen DJ Steve and Bruce in the same place at the same time.
You don't say.
So I just wonder.
Isaiah.
Now,
They could be the
really?
same person.
Yeah, but no, then he wouldn't be here. He would be there.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll say it.
True.
Because there isn't here, and they're too far away to be here all the time.
Bonettt.
Oh, I think he's back.
He's the main act. And it's at the Rex Theater. I mean, sorry, the Cake Theater.
The Cake
And that's
Theater.
Laconia.
Cake Theater. Where's the Cake
If I go
Theater?
to caketheater.com.
CakeTheater.com.
Is it really cake?
February 11th at the Rex Theater. And that's another paid event.
Oh.
That's along with the cake.
That's
Tickets
the
at $29
Or is he
at
saying cake?
peltheater.com. And you can get tickets at
that's the theater where they have the bakery built in. Like on your way in, if you want to get some baked goods for when you watch the show, you can do that.
Ooh, chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, they have Twinkies
I
and
want chocolate
cupcakes and I think they have donuts and muffins and right, Easy?
He's a singer. It's Charlie CHRONOPOULO.
What?
Well, I thought it was Cape, like Superman. It's got a cape.
That would be fun. Do you have a cape, Easy?
You ever heard of him?
Ever heard of Superman? Yes. I've seen the
no,
films.
You ever heard that guy? That singer that she's opening up for. I never heard of him.
Something up for him?
Something up for him.
What is that?
No. He's the main act at the Rex Theater. April Christmas is the opening
Something
act.
Up for Him is the name of an act?
Oh, I thought you were. I didn't know where you were going with that.
Oh, hey. That's for Unsheathed.
Well, anyways, they're both going to be at the Rex Theater on February 11th. And then wrapping up the ladies here, Katie Dobbins, obviously, is always killing it.
Killing it.
Yeah, I texted her.
Don't
Facebook
kill.
texted her the
No
other day.
violence.
New music coming this year. But she said, "Let me know." That's TBA, and she's got 2 big shows coming up, and they're both
EPA,
paid
that's a
events.
strong medication.
March 10th, and it's called Element. Sorry. March 10th is probably a free event. She doesn't get back to me, so she'll be announced. Elmont, books and coffee, beer.
Mike from Queen City Cabinetry says in the chat room, the Cake Theater is in Laconia.
Oh, it's really a cake.
So you have
Can I get chocolate cake?
So you have to go to Laconia for the cake. Yeah.
Well, I can get chocolate cake a little closer, but
down the place to
if
play.
it's special, it might be
You'll
worth
announced.
it.
Yes.
Like getting something
And,
from White's
another big
Bakery in
announcement.
Brockton,
You and-
Massachusetts. That's a special
Jane will
bakery.
probably be
Uh-huh.
there,
White's Bakery.
Yes.
camping out.
So the cake bakery would be nice.
That's right.
March 26th, 11 a.m. The St. Patrick's Day Shuffle.
I don't recommend having cake at 11 a.m.
Rain or shine.
Well, not if you got up early.
I'm
You
hoping
can
to go
have
this
cake
year
at 11
because Rocky and I
a.m.
went
It's an
last
early
year, so-
lunch.
If you listen to Rocky,
Sometimes it's
I
good
like
to have
go.
dessert before dinner.
No pressure.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm
He has
sorry.
a car now, I've been told, so you can
Did
pick
you-
me up and we can go.
Did you just invite Rocky?
If it doesn't
Huber?
happen, that's fine too. But I would like to go.
He wants Rocky to go.
Right. Where do you want Rocky
No
to
pressure.
go? No pressure.
No pressure. But it was fun last year when I know you
Is it a
Matt, you hate
date?
parades, but I know you won't be there.
Well, I won't be where?
You won't show up anywhere.
At the parade, you hate parades, you said.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big parade guy.
There's one thing. Are you doing a show next Monday, Martin Luther King holiday? I know you usually do shows on holidays.
Yeah, I believe I'll have to make sure. Actually, I should verify. But yeah, in the
Never assume anything when it comes to radio, right, Matt?
right. But in the past, yes, we've always been here for Martin Luther King Day, or at least I have for my show. So I'll have to make sure. But yeah, I believe
All right.
so.
Well, anyways, we'll wrap up the report. I don't know if you heard. It's not officially until.
Oh, hang on. This is the final phase?
January, but it's
Should've
always
known
another
by
room
now.
for
Easy
the
does.
road to WrestleMania. It's almost started.
The road to WrestleMania. By the way,
There's always room for one more, right, Matt?
I got some frightening news. I received a letter today. Apparently, Vince McMahon is now the executive chairman of Matt Connerton Unleashed. I'm very. This is very upset.
no.
Quit.
It's a little
It's funny, I was
unsettling.
listening to,
Yeah.
It's one of these daily updates of what's going on. One of these crazy websites. The video. And anyway, they were talking about Vince McMahon, coming back. I think I sent you up something, you and Jenny.
Yes.
But did he actually leave? So he's coming back. I don't think he actually left, right?
Slow.
Well, so Jenny's doing her John Cena impression. No, he has always been a majority shareholder, so he was never truly gone in that sense. And apparently he still goes to the gym at the at Titan Tower because, it's his. He can do that.
Well, you've been saying this for a long time, Matt. The wrestling is WWE. They're going to make big time. Fox is selling probably the NFL Universal for like a couple of $1 billion.
There's talk about possibly Comcast and Disney.
Right. Well, Comcast owns NBC
And then they'll just
Universal.
move all their content to
They do?
all
I
their
did
content
not
to watch
realize
the
that.
USA. I mean, to watch their SmackDown and Monday Night Raw eventually will all be on Peacock, which is fine to me because I love that channel.
No, I just figured out it's on Hulu. Don't take it away.
It is also on Hulu. Yes,
Yes.
that is true.
I
But don't you agree if
ignorantly
it's on the
did not
NBC
know.
Universal, just move all the channels, all the wrestling channels to SmackDown and it's up for contract in the next year or so. They'll just move the USA show and the
I think
SmackDown show on Fox and just put it all on Peacock. What do you think of that?
I think it's inevitable. I think that is what will ultimately happen. I think NBC Universal will buy it. It makes sense. They have a
Right.
relationship going back a half century, and
You've been
that's
saying that for over a year in your show.
yeah. That just seems like the most obvious buyer to me. I know Disney had
My guess
expressed an
is that-
He's
interest.
incentivized to
I'll let
sell
you speak,
considering his reputation.
True. Yes.
What were you saying, Matt? I don't want to eat your words.
You don't want to eat my words? I appreciate that.
Well, I always
EZG.
say I need to talk less and listen more. So I felt like I talked over you.
I'm glad you're getting the hint. But yeah, I really, I think it's inevitable. I think that WWE will ultimately be sold to NBC Universal.
Oh my!
According to that daily, I don't want to say that every day, but it's a daily, it's a daily, YouTube about wrestling, and he says it'll probably happen before the end of the year because the contracts are up next year.
I don't know about that soon. But it is true.
It's a rumor, though.
Well, the other reason that Vince supposedly has forced himself back in is he wants to negotiate.
'Cause he's a jerk?
Well, he wants to negotiate new rights because their rights deals with NBC and with Fox are coming up soon. So Vince wants to.
I think it's 2024. I think
Vince wants to help facilitate that. I don't know if they need his help though. They just had their most
They
profitable.
need his help. They
just-
need him to stay the heck away.
They just had their most profitable year ever.
Everything's going good now. Don't mess it up.
They had their first $1 billion year.
The Triple H is doing a
that's
good
the funny
job.
part.
Oh, yeah.
Vince never left. So in order he never left, how can he come back?
Right.
He should just stay wherever the heck he's been.
Yes.
And let it go. Collect
But anyways,
the
there's a lot of
paycheck and be
rumors
happy.
that I can get to if you like. We got the Royal Rumble coming up. Of course, that's the official day of the road to WrestleMania.
Yes.
And I do hear some big news that I'm very happy about. That John Cena is not coming back for WrestleMania or any other shows coming up anytime soon because he's too busy with Hollywood.
Yeah.
Thank God.
You don't
Stay
like
away.
it.
Why not?
Easy's very
The
ageist.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is a big rumor, but I guess I hope that don't happen. And The Rock, you've heard it here many, many times. He's not coming back.
You
He can't get
cold-hearted.
injured. Never since signing his contract, he can't get injured. He got injured the last time he came back. He's a big Hollywood star. He don't need to come back wrestling.
The Rock?
Why not?
Right, give the opportunity for somebody else. He's old. He's at his day.
Oh my God, you're terrible.
He's very ageist.
Wow. You
I'm
are
saying that for years.
awful.
So I'm very happy that
Hey,
Cena's
you
going to
just
stay in Hollywood.
leave it up to you. Everybody's going out the
He wasn't a
pasture.
bad show, but the other day with
just
the
shipped him off to the glue
his buddy
factory.
Kevin Owens, but he don't need to. Well, they weren't going to bring him back for one day to lose Howard Slade. But I do hear that the only reason I like him coming back is Brock Lesnar is good for business because he puts his fannies in the seats. But
yes, thank you for saying
he
fannies.
comes back very
Fannies?
part time, which is fine.
Fannies.
I thought he
But
said panties.
he's good for business, so I don't mind him coming back.
Right.
I
What's
think,
Yeah, but I agree.
Wow.
I leave with this thought. I was telling somebody over here at the where I live, and he didn't really agree with me. But I said that lady, the EST, she's really good for business, as you've been saying for a long time, Matt.
Bianca Belair, yes. The first time I saw her in NXT,
man.
I said, she's a star. She's a star. Absolutely. I hope they don't mess that up.
Because the storyline last week is, I'm guessing she's going to come up first, is she got beat up, and her head was into the metal part of the ring there, and I forget the other lady's name that used to hang out with the crazy guy who likes to that crazy dude that comes out and he burns himself there. What's his name? I'm really bad with.
Burns himself.
Who burns himself?
You guys like his name. It comes out and he pretends that he is. Yeah, he's out. Oh my God, he was out of wrestling for a while. They brought him back. The guy that likes to be on the dark side.
Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, Greg Wyatt. Remember the other girl that used to play with him?
Not
I didn't
Greg.
know what I mean. Play with the role. Oh my God, that sounds very good.
Alexa Bliss?
The girl that used to hang out with him.
Alexa
when he was on
Bliss.
the
Yes.
Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, her storyline is now that she hates the EST and she threw her head against the that metal ring part. So I'm guessing EST is going to come out and say, "Get your ass out of here." So
I like
they're
how-
probably going to fight the Royal Rumble for the belt there, and they get the storyline going.
I like how before you were so careful to say Fanny.
Stop it.
But,
Right, Fanny,
yeah.
Rob,
Get
but it's
your
funny though.
fanny out of here.
Most of those guys and gals, they all love each other. It's just for the TV,
Can't take you anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really hate each other, do you think, or do you think they really do?
No, I don't think they really hate each other. Although Bret Hart
I don't
and
think
Shawn
so, too.
Michaels, they did not
Oh
like each
yeah,
other.
you're right.
back
I
in
wonder
the
if
day.
they still hate each other after all these years.
No,
No.
I thought they settled that.
Oh, yeah, they settled that. No, they're fine now. They're good.
Oh, good. Well, leave those last rumor, and I think it's going to happen. Batista, William Regal, what's her name? She just came back last year for the Royal Rumble. There, she's a champion in another league. The woman wrestler there. She was in the Royal Rumble. They brought her back just for that one day only.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I'm blanking on her name.
Mickey James.
Mickey James, yes.
Those are three big names, and Batista, of course, will lead the pack. These are rumors, but I think it's going to happen. And of course, Triple H would be his person that he ducks into him. You know how they always have a person that says a few good words about, oh man, he's a Johnny old boy, he's the best wrestler. But always I think of Batista. I think of that years ago when he was in the ring. You know, those four horsemen kind of guy. They were all pretending to love each other.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy Orton just won the belt, and they would say, "Yeah, heads up." And then next thing you know, Batista, when his fingers, he went down, and they beat the living crap out of Randy Orton. But of course, it was all for the TV. I don't think they really hate each other. But don't forget that he goes, "Oh, you know, two fingers up," and next thing you know, about a minute later, 2 fingers down, and the announcer's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they're turning on him."
Very important. Scott Robinson in the chat room is asking, Easy, what about the Hulkster?
Yeah, he's all done.
Oh.
He's all done. You don't hear from him anymore because we're not going to go there. But he said, and you brought up on the show, but I don't care to bring it up again. He's kind of said some stupid things over the years.
And he's had...
so we'll just bring it up.
We don't want to really talk about Hulk. I don't think you're ever going to see Hulk back in the ring anymore.
And he's...
WWE, I think he's done.
And he's well into the double digits with back surgeries. So,
right, but I think all the mistakes he's made. I think especially he doesn't like Vince McMahon anyways. He don't need to be in the ring anymore and do anything special. I think he's done.
I think he's done too.
Right, same with Ric Flair. I don't think we really need to see him back in the ring anymore. Granted, his daughter is 14-time champion now. And of course, when they brought her back the other day, by the way, you know these guys. They weren't going to bring her back to lose.
Right.
So they got a big matchup for WrestleMania. It's going to be her and Ronda Rousey. And, they're getting all the work done ahead of time, the storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So like with Brock Lesnar, they bring him back, to fight. And of course they're talking about bringing the Raw and SmackDown, championships separate now. I think Roman Reigns is definitely going to be out of the picture. And Cody Rhodes is going to finally get the championship.
Oh, that would be...
If the phones that be that way.
He should...
Oh, yeah, you're saying a lot, too. And then, I saw the SmackDown and Raw the other day. I watched it was one of those stupid shows. And they came out like they were NWO. They were going to take over the show, the Bloodline. I mean, come on.
No, I was just going to say, Cody Rhodes, he should be back from injury soon.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so, yes.
Oh. Was it an ankle?
No, I think he had a torn bicep, maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow, ouch.
Sorry, what's that, Eric?
That storyline's been over and over and over and over. We're the bloodline. We're taking over. Come on. I know what the storyline's going to be, by the way. He's going to turn on the bloodline. That's going to just be the end of the bloodline. And then he'll team up with Kevin Owens again, and he'll pretend that they're friends again. Where's he outside the ring, by the way?
Grandma would be so sad that he's evil.
I think he's going to turn on them. He's not a really Uso anyways. So you got WrestleMania coming up, and it's all going to fall apart. The tag team champions are going to fall apart. And after that, he'll take the summer off because he's a part-time wrestler anyways. And he can't hold the belt for 6 years and 7 years anyways. Everybody's sick of Roman Reigns. Don't you agree?
No.
I think it all falls apart at WrestleMania.
No.
Not the Uso turns on the bloodline. The tag team champions lose, and Roman loses to Cody Rhodes.
Well, I do like the idea of Cody Rhodes coming back and winning the title.
Cody Rhodes is the championship number one in the family, and they're not going to bring him back again to lose, by the way, either.
Right. True. Yes.
I don't think he'll play at WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber. I think he's going to save him all the way to WrestleMania. They're going to be fully rested.
The bloodline's
bring
here
him
to
back
stay
and have
for a
him
while. I don't
get
think he's
hurt
going to
again?
go away anywhere.
Just tell him, hey, we're going to give you the belt on WrestleMania Sunday.
Ding, ding.
And you can rest. Because he got really injured. Why bother him coming back and he gets permanently injured?
Right.
How many times you see it in the wrestling world? Unfortunately, Owen Hart, he's not one of many wrestlers that have died in the ring.
One of many? Well, I don't think we've...
No.
I don't know
Other
if I'd say
I think other guys in the wrestling world have not necessarily died in the ring, but they've died later because of their ring.
Well, everyone dies later.
Wardness, you know,
ECG.
they had too many hits in the head.
Yeah, CTE. That is a problem.
That's
yes.
what I meant to say.
Yes.
Brian Pillman, you know.
Yes.
The list is, I don't want to be dark or anything, but the list is on.
You kind of got dark.
You've got too many chances in the ring, too many steroids. That's another reason Hulk Hogan's not just Hulk Hogan like it used to be. Too many steroids. A lot of those guys did steroids, drinking, hard living.
Jeez.
Hard living. That's right.
I
Just
heard
like
Ric Flair's back on the juice. That's not good.
He's
almost died a couple years ago. Look at that football player. Well, he was this.
Ric Flair's back
he
on
might
the
never
juice.
play again,
Where
but
does that come
at least he's
from?
alive.
I don't
Where
think
do you get these things?
I don't think Ric Flair's on the juice. You really
I think he's
so?
reading the
No.
Enquirer.
I mean, not the juice, but he's back drinking. I heard drinking beers.
Oh yeah. Well, he's an active alcoholic. What do you want?
Right. I'm not picking on the guy. He'll never. Anyways, it is what it is. But I'm saying that football player probably won't play again, but at least he's alive. You know, he had a heart attack in the ring. I mean, a heart attack. You know, on the floor. Not. You know what I'm saying? At their game last Monday, and he's doing amazing recovery, but.
Oh,
you're not
DeMar.
gonna see him play football
DeMar
for
Hamlin.
a long time, if ever.
Yeah.
He had a heart attack.
Yeah, that's really scary. What happened to DeMar Hamlin? I'm glad he's apparently he's out of the hospital now, which is great. So
That's why you heard it here first. Bills win the Super Bowl finally.
What?
They're going to dedicate
He's
it to
not
their
out of the
fallen
hospital.
Isn't he?
player.
I thought he was
No.
released.
You know, they always had something.
Oh, heck
never
no.
to play for. The Buffalo Bills are 4-time Super Bowl losers. You know, they made a Super Bowl 4 times in a row. They lost, but this time they're going to do it. You heard it here first.
I saw something right before coming on the air about him being released. Maybe it was he was released from ICU.
Yeah, no, he's in Buffalo now. And
Oh,
he's gonna
get out,
be going
you're right.
to
Yeah.
get his
He got out
rehabilitation going. But he's still not doing the best. You know, he had a heart attack.
Well, he's young. I mean, he's what is he? 24 years old. I mean, at
Right.
that age,
But he ain't coming back
you recover
anytime sooner
quickly.
as ever.
Oh, no,
Triple
I think
H
they
had a heart
moved
attack a while
him
back. You don't see
Wow.
him in the ring anymore, ever now.
to Buffalo at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center
Oh, okay.
so he could be back in his home.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
Home
I mean, it's a
state.
miracle. It's a miracle he's even doing this good.
that's encouraging though. That you know he's well enough they were able to move him.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
tired, so I went to bed, and I said, I'll flip around and see what's going on. And I said, well, what's going on here Monday Night Football? And I said, I'm tired. I went to bed, and I was like 3 in the morning. I said, oh, my God, what's going on here?
I'm feeling a little tired
I mean,
myself.
if I'm tired, I might just go to bed, right, Matt? There's no sense fighting it. So if I'm tired, I said,
Just go to bed,
I don't care if
easy.
it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean,
My.
it's dark out now. You know, you could. Scott Robinson in the chat room says, I've always been partial to Chief Jay Strongbow. Any news on him, Easy?
What?
Chief Jay Strongbow.
I don't know if he's even alive.
Yeah, he might be dead.
This is not someone I'm
Yeah.
familiar
Yeah.
with.
If he is, you don't have to worry about him.
Yeah. Find out for us if you could.
Anyways, I'm not going to focus on any AEW because I'm not a big fan of them anymore. Only one reason I'd be a big fan of them is because they picked up Sasha Banks. What do you think of that move, Matt and Jenny?
Sasha Banks, now known as, what is she known as? Monet something. I forget her new name.
What do you think of that move there, Matt and Jenny?
I have no idea.
I don't think Jenny's familiar with
Yeah,
Sasha
no,
Banks.
it's just not something I follow. Sorry. Don't know.
All right, what do you think of Matt?
I think it's cool. I'm glad she's back in it.
Yeah, they were saying too in the rumor mill, the video I was watching before I called in, they said once again WWE has too many wrestlers. And they said they get bought by NBC Universal, a lot of them are going to get gone.
Could be.
They do have a lot of wrestlers that necessarily are really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right,
Anyways,
Eric.
that's just my...
I think it's, yes. Anything to add, sir?
Play it out.
Yeah. Oh, Braun Strowman, he's a good wrestler, but what does he bring to the table?
Oh, my.
What does he bring to the table? I've often wondered that myself.
Oh, one guy, I'll leave you this crazy thought. Like one guy's like 10 feet tall.
Uh-huh.
And he's just the worst wrestler ever. He should be definitely say, see you later. He can go back to AEW can pick him out. He's just horrible. He can't do anything on the microphone.
Wow.
He just like slashes. He may slap. Whoops! I mean, he just kicks or he
He's
crosses.
just hardcore, man. You can't please this guy.
He can't do anything. He's just not good. You know, they always say, right? If you're not good with the microphone, you're not going to get anywhere in any wrestling league.
Scott Robinson wants to know what's your opinion on Linda Lovelace?
Seriously.
She's not a wrestler. So, same on you, Scott Robinson.
Yeah, Scott Robinson, shame. Easy says shame on you.
Shame.
Well, on that note, my report is over, so I'll talk to you later.
Wow. All right, Easy G. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, easy does.
Wow. Well,
He
I should
got angry.
play him out. I don't think
Maybe
he
he's hangry. It's almost dinner time.
Maybe.
From around the way.
Easy.
You want to know about stock market crashes, COVID-19, drive-bys, celebrity gossip? Easy G's gotcha. Entertainment report style. That's why I'm easy.
Cause ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Are you ready for start time?
Let's find out. Ready, set, go.
All right. Wow. That was quite the entertainment report
Yes.
from our friend
Yes, it was.
Easy G. Yes. He said it was going to be a mini report, 5 minutes long. But that's all right.
Was that 20 minutes ago?
I don't know.
I lost track.
I don't know. Seems longer. 603-250-6007 is the number if you'd like to join us. 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connerton or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. And we'll finish saying hello to everybody in there in a moment. Very busy chat room today. But of course, the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is to give us a call at 603-250-6007. And I just want to make sure we don't miss anybody in here. Oh, Paulie C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Paulie C, which of course you can hear Friday nights from 8 to 11 p.m. here at WMNH 95.3. He's in the chat room. He says, good afternoon, big fan. Musicians who passed away in 2022 this Friday night at 8 p.m. Me, Matt, DJ Steve, Dan Randall of Dan Randall and the Randlettes, of course, and Katie from The Morning Show. Very nice. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that very much. Let's see. N Saturn says, we are going to be performing on January 14th, 2023 at karaoke night at Market Street, Sawmill 2 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Oh, very nice. Paulie C says, DJ Happy Wheels is a douchey name. Yes, that's why we call him DJ Steve.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry, I think I mentioned earlier, is in the chat room. Queen City Cabinetry in the historic Sunbeam Mall, one of our great sponsors here at WMNH 95.3. And Saturn says we are planning to be performing, singing, dancing, and plus people will be supporting us. Hashtag Matt Connerton and hashtag Jenny Coffee. Wow, very nice. Mike from Queen City Cabinetry says, will Eric be talking about N Saturn performing on January 14th, 2023 at karaoke night at Market Street, Sawmill 2 in Greensboro, North Carolina? You know, I don't think Easy mentioned that. I think Easy's been derelict in his duty with his entertainment report.
Yeah, they show up for us every day.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. They should be included in Eric's report.
I think you're correct.
Miriam Banish says...
you just try and get them to listen to you for that.
Miriam Banish says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Miriam. Paulie C says, referring to Easy G, he talks to you like he's speaking into an answering machine.
Having a little technical difficulties over there, Maddie.
That's funny. It's funny because it's true. I never thought of that. He does. He talks to us like he's speaking into an answering machine.
Oh, God, you're right.
That's a fantastic observation. Alfredo Enrique Benavides, also known as Fredo, a very talented musician from the area. He's been on the show several times. Of course, you might know him from his band Dank Sinatra or Cosmic Blossom or the Faith Ann Band. He joins us in the chat room and says, yo, hello, Fredo. Nice to see you. And Saturn says, hello, hashtag Mike Pelopito. We will tell Eric who we are. Very good. Very good. Yes. Paulie C says, Matt, every time he pauses, just make a beeping sound. That actually would be funny. It would make it sound like he was swearing. It's like that segment they do on Jimmy Kimmel, that unnecessary censorship.
I suppose going for like a telegraph sound wouldn't be good, huh?
No. I don't know.
Dee, 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 dee.
Yeah.
No.
And Saturn says, hello, hashtag Eric, we say to you from us. We are from Greensboro, North Carolina. We are a pop singing group of us. We love chocolate. We love chocolate cake. We say to you from us, hashtag Matt Connerton. Oh, you know what? We should find out if we can get N Saturn booked at the Cake Theater in Laconia.
Ooh.
They have the bakery there. They've got
I just want the chocolate cake.
Yes.
Chocolate cake.
Yes. And Saturn says, we will be performing of cover songs. We are covering New Kids on the Block songs.
Sorry.
Okay. DJ Steve points out, hey, Matt, your show is only 2 hours long. That is true. Melanie La Liberty.
What's he trying to say, huh?
Well, I think he was, because I said Easy G's report, I think should be 2.5 hours. Wouldn't that be great? Melanie La Liberty from the great state of Vermont joins us. Hello. Let's see. Just want to make sure we don't miss anybody in here. Scott Robinson was encouraging Eric to listen. Yes.
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Yeah. Melanie said, wow, all this wrestling talk is super interesting. I'm writing notes as fast as I can.
Did you get everything?
Well, I'll tell you nothing.
The show is recorded, so you can play it back if you missed any.
Oh, Melanie says, I love me some Rowdy Roddy Piper. Yes. Scott said, I like how Matt and Jenny have a conversation and Eric just continues his own conversation. Oh, boy. Nothing tops that Pauly C comment, though. That was genius. Jason Fedderson also joins us. Hello, Jason. Charles Richardson from the Charles Richardson Show and the great state of Florida joins us in the chat and says, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, Miriam agrees with Paul. She says, yes, he sounds exactly like he's leaving a voicemail.
You're right.
Boy. Charles sounds like he's still trying to put his show back together. He had to get a new computer recently. He says, the show is on hold at this time. Studio is still a mess. PC not fixed. I love chocolate cake too. Very nice. And Miriam wants cake as well. Well, we all want cake. See what you did,
cake.
Easy? You made everyone want cake.
You have to take me out for cake now.
Oh, my goodness.
I want cake. Chocolate cake.
Wow. 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007. We should talk about, so when we left on Friday, when we last spoke previously on Matt Connerton Unleashed, we had a bit of a cliffhanger.
We did.
Yes, we were in the midst of Kevin McCarthy attempting to become House Speaker.
Were we on the 12th vote, or was it like more the 14th?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
I'm not sure what vote we were on.
I don't know where we were
during the cliff.
At the end of the show on Friday, but I do know that they were still voting when I got home. I think it was after midnight, right? It was vote 15. I think it was after midnight when finally Kevin McCarthy won and became the next Speaker of the House.
He gave away the storehouse.
Yes, a weakened. Severely weakened
but
Kevin McCarthy.
But he got a name plaque and a gavel, so he's a happy man.
That's right. Well, I will say this. So I'm going to say something now. I'm not a big fan of House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, but I will say something positive. And I'm not being flippant with this. This is genuine. I will credit where due. The guy didn't give up, which he said during his speech. He said, I don't know if
that's a good quality.
Well, I don't know if dragging us all through this process. I mean, there are alternatives that could have been explored.
He could have stepped aside for somebody that was more palatable.
Maybe Steve Scalise. That's what I kept saying. But having said that, putting that aside,
it was his turn. He earned it.
Well, he did say apparently very loudly. He said in a meeting that he earned that job.
I really hate it when politicians say that.
Yeah. But I will say this for him. He wanted this, and he didn't give up when I'm sure he was under a lot of pressure, not just by the circumstances, the fact that, I mean, my God, when you think back to Tuesday, the beginning of the week, the first vote on Tuesday, when, the first couple of votes, I think he came in at, he needed 218. He came in at 201. And then I think by the fourth vote, he was actually going the wrong way. He lost a vote and was sitting at 200. And I really was skeptical that, that I thought either this might actually go into the next week. at the rate, if they're just going to keep voting and voting, or at some point he's got to say, okay, I'm going to withdraw and let someone else take a shot at it. But he didn't do that, and he hung in there. And I just, on a positive side, though, I will just say, he didn't quit. He didn't give up. This is what he wanted. He never wavered. He publicly, he kept a positive face and said, no, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. It's just, it takes as long as it takes, but we're going to get there. And he didn't quit. So I give him that. Credit where due. The man.
Don't be so quick.
The man did not give up. Now, well, again, I mean, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking about that specifically. I mean, there's other. We're in for the next 2 years. I think we're going to be in, and we'll get into all of that too. I think we're going to be in for some.
And I don't want to be just a big naysayer either. There were some things that ended up happening in the negotiations that I absolutely agree with. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the Freedom Caucus pushing for it. And it's something that some of these things have always been near and dear to my heart, like being able to read the bill before you vote on it.
Sure.
They've been able to introduce bills so quickly with so many pages. You can't read the thing. You don't know what the heck is in it. And then you have like a Pelosi going, oh, you got to pass it to see what's in it. I hate that. I detest that. How dare you vote on something you don't know what's in it? So one of the negotiations that happened during this is that the bills have to come to the representatives at least 72 hours ahead of time to give them a chance to really give them a look over. That's one big win, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that everything, that he conceded is necessarily objectionable. I mean, my number one worry and everything is the debt ceiling. But again, I just wanted to say, though, I can't knock the hustle. I do respect the fact that he hung in there and he never gave up. There is something to be said for that.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I'm sure there were moments. I'm sure there were. He had to have doubts.
Especially when they were popping vote after vote after vote. And the totals weren't changing in any way, shape, or form. Nothing was budging.
Yeah.
In that moment, my honest thought was step aside and let somebody else who's more palatable take the chair.
Yeah.
But his ego was never going to let him step aside. Because, I know what you're congratulating him for, but I also see that as ego. I earned this. It's my turn. I get to be speaker. Like we're owed that, or somehow the country owed him that position, or the House owed him that position, when there are other representatives in the House and even people outside of it, but that could make very good speakers.
Mm-hmm. Well, he may. I mean, we don't know what's in his mind or in his heart. He may genuinely believe that he's the best person for the job. But again, that, of course, that kind of goes to ego, right? If you're convinced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's a greater character plus if you're willing to step aside when you should just allow it to step aside.
But then we also get into, and I agree, it would have been none of this has been good for the country, but there may have also been, from his perspective, and again, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate because, like I said, I'm not a fan of Kevin McCarthy by any stretch. I don't want anyone to misunderstand. And we could get into the reasons, but I'll put that aside for now too. But he may have, as this progress went on, and they're voting and they're voting and they're voting, and he's losing, there may have actually been, from his point of view and from his supporters who continued to support him, which was most of the House Republicans, there also may have been a point where they looked at it as there's a point of no return. In other words, he gave away so much in these concessions, including his dignity, some would argue, but he gave away so much in these concessions that there comes a point where it's like, okay, he can step aside, but is somebody else going to be able to, is Steve Scalise, if he then moves in, is he going to agree to all of those same concessions? And if he doesn't, when the Freedom House people, House Freedom Caucus people have already been promised all of this, is it at a certain point, is it actually easier for Steve Scalise to move in to that spot, or has the damage already been done where it actually made more sense for Kevin McCarthy to just keep pushing forward?
I'm not sure.
Because
I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's all counterfactual, hypotheticals.
And I think it's premature to really make any great decisions yet because they're going to vote tonight on the rules that are going to govern for the next 2 years. And a lot of those concessions are going to be in those rules. Now, there's going to be a ton of stuff that we don't know that isn't going to get written down. And of course, there's going to be, committee assignments and such that I'm sure we're involved in this. But I'm interested to see what comes out in the rules tonight as far as what they set for rules, but equally important, how the voting goes. Is he going to get stuck tonight voting on rules, or will there be a consensus? Because every Democrat's probably going to vote against him. So how are the Republicans going to fall tonight? I'm not. Didn't you say they were starting that later on tonight? Was it around 5-ish?
Well, when they had, I assume because when they,
I'm not seeing anything yet.
When they adjourned on Friday night, they adjourned. They said they would start up again Monday at 5 p.m. So, in theory, in 7 minutes from now, they'll be starting up. But of course. During the day, obviously, there's meetings and...
Yeah, probably in about 5 minutes, it's going to pull up. I just actually found a live feed.
Oh, okay.
So it's not there yet. They're supposed to come back in at 5. But yeah, I really want to know what's in this rules package, how it's going to affect bills. Another thing that I think is important, personally, that I'm happy to hear is supposed to be in this rules package is bills being germane. That you're not going to have it easy peasy, that you can put a non-germane bill onto another bill, which is a huge pet peeve of mine, and it should be, every American should be disgusted when they do that because it's awful. It's like every year, for example, the NDAA bill, the military spending bill gets used as a Christmas tree for everybody to put their non-germane amendments onto to get them passed because we have to pass the military spending bill.
Right.
So what is this going to mean if that's actually in the rules? What is that going to mean to the NDAA bill? If that can't be used as a Christmas tree anymore, I'm going to be very happy about it. Very happy.
Let's look at this. I've got here, this is from dailymail.co.uk. This is a list of concessions. This is a list where the best list that I found where it's got all the major concessions, but goes into a little bit of detail, but not too much, so we're not overwhelmed with information. But
yeah, I've been looking for something like that, so I'm glad you found it.
So I'm not doing these in order because I'm skipping right to the thing that I'm most worried about, and then we'll go back and look at the others. Hard line on debt limit. This is the one that has me worried because, and if you're a longtime listener, you might have heard me talk about the debt limit or the debt ceiling or the borrowing limit. There's different terms for it. The fiscal cliff.
Yep.
This is very important. This has to be raised on schedule. Up until the summer of 2011, it pretty much was. Republicans and Democrats generally agreed. It's not the budget itself. This is what people get mixed up. It's not the budget itself. It's paying off. It's servicing the debt on money already spent. Because if you allow the federal government to default for the first time in our country's history, the results could be globally economically catastrophic. That has never happened in the history of the country. We've never defaulted on our debt. But
didn't Russia do that?
I think Russia did once.
Didn't they default recently, at the beginning of the war?
No.
I thought they did.
There was speculation that they might. I don't think they actually defaulted, though. But I think they did default back during the dissolution of the Soviet Union.
So why does this not have any effect on allowing the United States to borrow more money? Because that's what people if I raise the debt limit, then you can borrow more money. If I don't raise the debt limit, then you can't borrow more money. That's the gist of those who don't want it to move. So why is that not it?
I don't know.
I'm asking you to explain your position because what you're saying is that I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit here too. So what you're saying is that in order for us not to default on our loans, we have to raise the debt limit.
Right.
Because of the interest in those payments on those loans, not to create new loans. Because that's what when I hear raising the debt limit, the thought process, the Republican side thought process is that if I allow you to raise the debt limit, then I'm allowing the United States to borrow more money. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to borrow money. I want, in other words, spend what you have only. Don't borrow more money than what you have to be able to afford. So if I don't allow you to raise the debt limit, I'm not allowing more debt. That is the general understanding. What you're saying is that that's not it. We're raising the debt limit because we already have the debt, we already have this interest, and we have to pay it. If we don't raise the debt limit, then we're going to default on our loans.
Right.
So which one's right?
I'm not sure I'm not sure what the difference is between what you just said.
I don't want us to borrow more money, so I'm going to say no to increasing the debt limit.
Okay.
But I still want us to pay our loans that we already owe.
Can't do it if you don't raise the debt limit.
Why?
The money's already been spent. If you want to save money, you have to cut the budget, not the debt limit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for you to kind of
gotcha.
bring this together. Why is it not that? Because
Right.
for the longest time, I personally did believe that the push of this vote is to allow more borrowing. And of course, I want you to stay within your, like we say, we want the state to stay within its met in what it has, not create new bills and then go to the taxpayer and say, hey, give me more money because I made more bills.
Right.
I want you to operate within the income you already have. And if you can't afford it, we don't spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I want the debt limit to do. That's how I translated it to myself was, I don't want you to borrow more money, so I don't want you to raise the debt limit to enable you to borrow more money.
Mm-hmm.
In no way did I ever see that to mean current money that we already owe, that's interest we're already owing. This is money we already owe.
Right.
Because it's not traditional to think that way. When you have a loan, you start out with a high number and you pay it down.
Here's the way.
But the way this sounds is the United States starts out with a loan and pays it, but then it still goes up.
Here's the way I like to explain it to people. Say you have your electric bill, and this is something relatable for everybody because energy prices keep going up.
Seriously.
Say you have your electric bill, and one month you decide, so you've already spent the money, you've already used the electricity, you get your bill, but then you decide, well, we're spending too much on electricity. I'm just not going to pay this bill. I'm going to default on this bill. Well, you could do that, but what's going to happen is one morning you're going to wake up and go to make your morning coffee, and the coffee maker's not going to turn on because you're not going to have any electricity. So it's kind of like that. The government's already spent this money. Now the government has to make good on the payments.
So why don't our loan obligations ever go down? When you get a car, you buy a car, you $20,000 loan. You pay every month to pay on your interest and your payments to bring it down. And the loan comes down. Our loans never seem to come down. Every year we vote to increase the number, increase the number, increase the number. Why aren't our loans coming down? Why does it seem like we're throwing, poop against the tide?
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, the federal government can do one thing that no one else can, and that's print money. Ron, which that factors into it. Ron is on the line. Hi, Ron.
Hi, Jess. Hi, Matt. I've heard it said in the past that other countries owe us money. Is that because of loans? I mean, I guess what I'm getting at is if somehow we could wave a magic wand and collect on what the other countries owe us, I mean, how much kind of money are we talking?
I have no idea. I know there's other countries that own a lot of our debt, like China owns a lot of our debt.
If China ever turned around and say, look, we want all the money that you owe us now, this country would be bankrupt.
That's probably a myth.
Oh, I see. I was thinking the other way around. I thought other countries owed us money.
There are countries that owe us money, and supposedly they make payments.
I don't know who owes us money, though. I don't know, who.
We've given loans. We've made deals just like anybody else.
Well, I mean, we do financial aid to other countries, which is just to buy their cooperation on in terms of
sometimes I think we do a little too much
security.
Okay. Maybe I was under the impression that a lot of money was owed to us, so that's what I was shooting at.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I think we owe more money to other countries than anybody else that owes us anything.
Well,
I would agree to that. Yeah,
I don't know that. Yeah, like I said, China owns some of our debt. Although from what I've read, it's actually a much smaller number than people realize. There's this. It's become sort of mythologized, this idea that China basically owns the United States, and it's not really true. But they do own some of it, certainly.
There are countries that do owe America money. Even though Japan holds the biggest amount of U.S. debt, the U.S. is also owed a lot of money by them as well, as mainland China owes us, Ireland owes us, the Cayman Islands owes us, and this list actually goes on and on. So I think it's more than I even thought. But same scenario. We can't go, hey, everybody pay us, or we'll bankrupt them.
Yeah.
I saw something in the newspaper the other day, and then I'll drop this. But they were talking about Elon Musk, that at one time he was the richest man in the world, and he set a record for that. And now I guess he's set a record for having lost the most amount of money.
There's a running joke about Elon Musk. What's the no, now I can't remember the joke. It's something like, what's the best way to become a millionaire? Be a billionaire and then buy a failing company or something like that. That's not exactly the joke, though. I can't remember exactly how I heard it.
Yeah, but that works.
It was more clever the version that I heard, but I can't remember exactly how I heard the joke.
You and I both said we thought
Hey,
China
just before
owned
I hang
most.
up, I like the subject matter. I want to continue to listen. But if there's time today or tomorrow, I wonder if you could put your 2 thoughts in on the New York nurses strike.
That's actually on our agenda for today.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in the second hour.
I don't want to waste any more time. Nice talking to you.
All right, Ron. Thank you for the call. Bye bye.
And just before we close this out, what surprised me in what I've just looked up, China isn't the one who owns most of our debt. Japan does. As of May of 2022, Japan held $1.3 trillion in treasury securities.
Okay.
So it's actually Japan that owns the biggest bulk, but then it's China. The United Kingdom owns some. Ireland owns some. Luxembourg owns some. So, yeah. It's like every country seems to have indebtedness to every other country.
Yeah.
And nobody's bills ever get paid down.
Right. Yeah. Well, some describe the global economy as a Ponzi scheme, you know?
Right?
But let's look at this. So this is hard line on debt limit. This is one of the things that was negotiated. It says here, McCarthy has agreed to take a hard line on increasing the statutory debt limit, which Congress must lift to accommodate spending as it has agreed to through appropriations. Lawmakers weren't direct about what the exact deal was, but one of the holdouts was flipped. Representative-elect Ralph Norman had demanded a very tough line. Norman said before switching back to McCarthy, quote, is he willing to shut the government down rather than raise the debt ceiling? That's a non-negotiable item, unquote. See, what you have to understand is, so the House Freedom Caucus, they're just an evolution or a devolution of the Tea Partiers. And the Tea Partiers, in my view, very dangerous, and that danger carries over to the House Freedom Caucus because in 2011, the Tea Partiers did all they could to try to take us over what they call the fiscal cliff. These Tea Party Republicans, some of whom I think, after seeing and listening to them interviewed, I think legitimately just didn't understand. Some of these people, I think, genuinely don't have the sophistication to even comprehend the difference between the debt limit and the budget. If you want to save the money, you cut it in the budget. You don't refuse to raise the debt limit and send us into default.
But they never seem to make the cuts in the budget,
right,
that are necessary because they're not going to hurt their prized items.
There might be some big budget cuts coming with this Congress.
And that could be it, though. Well, hopefully, the thing is, what will they cut? They're going to cut the right things, because it never seems to be the right things.
No, it won't be the right things. I promise you.
No, I'm expecting that entirely. Oh my God, why would my country actually try to invest in getting homeless people off the street or giving people, why would we do that?
Spoiler alert, it will be all the wrong things.
Yeah, no.
It definitely will.
True.
Mike Doyle is on the line. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys and gals. Happy New Year to you both.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, I wanted to answer Jenny's question. She goes, why does that debt never go down? It's because they just keep spending. They just don't. They're this last 1.7, I was just reading about it a couple of days ago. This last bill of 1.7, this omnibus bill that they just pushed through, it's just crazy.
Trillion.
How much money goes to pork and how much money goes to everybody's, they only give them 24 hours to read a 4,000-page bill. and make adjustments.
And that's what I was saying is I completely agree with them, changing the rules so you have to have a bill at least 72 hours in advance to read it. And I like the idea of non-germane amendments not being allowed. That would
in
solve
this
a lot of
last
it.
bill, there was only 1.5 million put in for border security, and there was 55 million put in for the salmon, refreshing the salmon along the Pacific coast. So they put in 4 times more money in a project to make sure the salmon are running than our border.
That doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me. Years ago, I remember there was a California town where there was drought. There was drought, and they were trying to bring water into the people who lived there. But something happened because of some animal somewhere. They diverted the water, and where all the people lived, there was no water. But it was all diverted to help an animal, which I'm not. I love animals. Don't take me wrong, but to divert water away from homes. But that's what we do.
Versus people on the border getting molested and getting, beaten or drugs.
I'd like to see the 55 million for salmon go towards the homeless. Call me crazy, but I think it would be really great if America got the homeless off the street.
Oh,
Just saying.
absolutely.
Just saying. Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. I am right there with you.
But it's just they just spend and part of the things I think the Republicans were holding out on that I was reading was one is they want to introduce a 10-year balanced budget. They know they can't do it overnight. They know it's going to take a long process, year by year, trying to get it in order where it's balanced. And they're trying to. That was one of the big things of just not spending all the time and just trying to get this thing balanced. And as you were saying, Jenny, a lot of people are attaching pork to the military bills. Like I think you call it a Christmas tree.
Yeah,
and
that's been a pet peeve of mine for you.
Right.
Ever.
And so what's going to happen now, let me give you just real quick a picture of the future. The Republicans are going to cut out some of that military pork that's been added on there, and the Democrats are going to say the Republicans are cutting the budget of the military.
Now that's
you can see
true.
That coming a mile away, but
that's true. That happens all the time. That's true.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm sure.
It happens when the Democrats do it too. Whoever's playing, both sides are equally guilty of using the backs of all of our military to carry the weight of their little prized possessions, their little jewels. Both sides have abused the NDAA forever.
So one last thing, I like to think of it like this: somebody has a credit card and they've maxed it out. The U.S. has a credit card and they maxed it out. They should go to another credit card. And they pay down the first one slowly, and they jump into another credit card and borrow more money and spend more money, and you know what I mean. The spending doesn't stop. You got to try to slow the spending down. The pork, the extra money for other countries researching salmon eggs or bear eggs and whatever. It's in some country we do a lot of that too. But anyways, just too much spending, and we got to slow it down a little bit.
All right, very good.
That's all I'm saying. I think it's going to be just on the backs of our kids in the next 10 years or so. These 1.7 trillion and another 1.7 trillion, and then So, anyways, we'll see.
We'll see.
But anyways, Happy New Year to you guys.
All right, Happy New Year, Mike. Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for the call.
All right, see you.
All right, take care. Bye bye. All right, that opens up a line for you, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. We'll just go through the rest of these just quickly, and then we'll get to break. But let's see. There was... this is another big one. A single member can move to vacate the chair. This is this is kind of the sword of Damocles hanging over McCarthy all the time. It says here, if McCarthy thought overcoming a band of holdouts was tough this week, things could get even harder. If he becomes speaker. So apparently this article was written before the final, the 15 vote there. A single member will get to move to vacate the chair. This reverts to prior procedure, which Freedom Caucus threatened to... this is poorly written. That sentence doesn't make sense. But this is how they got rid of John Boehner. They threatened to do this to him. McCarthy had already agreed to a 5-vote requirement to make the motion, which set up essentially a vote of no confidence in the speaker, and agreed to lower it to a single lawmaker. So, at any point, Matt Gaetz can get up and say, I move to dismiss the speaker, and they'll have to vote on it. Let's see.
I think the one members is stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I really do think it's stupid. It should be like 5 at least.
Yeah, at least.
It
used to be half.
I don't know about half. I think that's excessive.
At one point, the requirement was
excessive.
Half the House would vote on
to
the
vote
motion.
on having a vote. See, no.
Right, yeah.
I think a reasonable number, like 5, agree, then that can call for a vote. It's like if you want a roll call vote, other people have to stand up and say, we want one too, because if there's not enough people supporting that, it can't happen.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of debt, by the way, Alex Whiteley says in the chat, the UK is apparently still in debt to the U.S. from World War II. Interesting. I did not realize that. Scott Robinson said, the same as how we're paying now for all the Reaganomics, trickle-down economics that doesn't work. How about we quit cutting taxes for the rich and make them pay their share also? Yeah, that big tax cut under Trump was quite the gift to the wealthy, that's for sure. Just as an example. Let's see. Votes on term limits and border security. The holdouts reportedly got a pledge to get floor votes on term limits and border security. The former, in particular, could drive a wedge through the conference. McCarthy himself was elected to the House in 2006. The legislation would likely die in the Senate, where they would be subject to a filibuster. Yeah, term limits never seems to happen.
Of course not. They don't want to cut off their paychecks.
This one is interesting.
Career politician for life.
This one is interesting to me. Open primaries. So the Conservative Leadership Fund, a PAC backed by Kevin McCarthy, brokered a deal with the Club for Growth, which I didn't know was even still around. I've been hearing about the Club for Growth since I was a kid. Brokered a deal with the Club for Growth that will impact Republicans that join the House in the future. The CLF committed to stay out of open primaries when a lawmaker vacates a seat. That gives arch conservatives a chance to prevail in a primary without getting pounded by leadership, which sometimes weighs in on behalf of candidates deemed more electable. So in other words, say Matt Gaetz in Florida, he's up for re-election. McCarthy says, cool, let's primary this guy. I hate him. I just want to get rid of him. Well, he can't use his PAC to do that anymore. According to this deal, he can't put any money behind a primary challenger to Matt Gaetz.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It says here, CLF will not spend in any open seat primaries in safe Republican districts, and CLF will not grant resources to other super PACs to do so. CLF has never spent $1 against a Republican incumbent before, and obviously will continue that policy in the future, according to a statement on the Club for Growth website. The group has backed many of the conservative holdouts. The group threw its support to McCarthy, assuming the terms of the deal held. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. On one hand, so one of the concessions is votes on term limits, but then the next one on the list is something designed specifically to protect incumbents. I think that's interesting. I get it, though. There's more here, but I want to get to a break. I want to make sure we have time for, to talk about the nurses in New York. So, and we are late for a break. So let's do that. We've got Ricky Mapleton coming in on Wednesday of this week. So looking forward to meeting him. So we're going to play, his songs are kind of short. So I'm going to play one of his songs. Give everybody a little preview here. It's called Control-Alt-Delete. You'll understand why when you hear it. And then we'll show some love to our amazing sponsors. And then we'll be back with the balance of our program. Oh, Gonzo is in the chat room. Hi, Gonzo. I haven't seen Gonzo in a while. He says even without term limits, the person still has to win an election every time. Yeah, so we'll give this a listen. Show some love to our sponsors. And then we'll be back with the balance of our program. More Matt Connarton Unleashed coming up. Don't go away.
Control. Alt. Delete. Control. keys on a PC keyboard, usually labeled Control, Alt, and Delete. Hold down simultaneously in order to close an application that is not responding. Reboot. The computer login. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete now. Gonna reset, gonna reboot. It's Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. It's all you need to reboot. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Combination of 3 keys on a keyboard on PC. A keyboard usually labeled Control Alt Delete. Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Your application ain't responding. Reboot the computer login. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete now. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete now.
Control.
Bring your kitchen to life with Queen City Cabinetry, located at 87 Elm Street in the historic Sunbeam Mall in Manchester. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They can be reached at 603-222-2007 or on the web at queencitycabinetrynh.com. Come see the possibilities. Queen City Cabinetry, another proud sponsor of WMNH.
Clemento's Pizzeria, family friendly, awesome for a date night. Clemento's Pizzeria.
For delivery, call 603-782-8450.
Clemento's Pizzeria, the best pizza in town.
1875 South Willow Street in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Best cocktails around.
Come in as friends and leave as family.
This hour on WMNH is sponsored by CGI Business Solutions, located at 5 Dartmouth Drive in Auburn. They serve all your business needs, including employee benefits planning, corporate design and business administration, investments and wealth management, and customized business insurance solutions. Their phone number is 866-841-4600 or on the web at cgibusinesssolutions.com.
WMNH, rip the knob off.
Everybody, welcome back. We are well in hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connerton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. Also on Comcast 97 if you're in Manchester, and hello to all of our online listeners across the nation and around the globe. You can go to my website, mattconnerton.com, for all of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, merchandise, etc., etc. Today is Monday, January 9th. 9, 2023. Jenny is here as well at the news desk.
Present.
And if you'd like to join us, the number is 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connerton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. And of course, you can interact and opine in the Facebook live chat. But the best thing to do so that we can hear and enjoy your dulcet tones is give us a call at 603-250-6007. Our friend Alex Whiteley from the UK says, wish I recorded every banger that I came up with while in the shower, kitchen, or office. I have a sweetie deedie about staplers and hole punchers going right now. Very good. Very good. Well, we did play, I assume that's a reference to Ricky Mapleton, Control-Alt-Delete. Which we played as we were going into the break. And Ricky will be here with us on Wednesday. Rocky Huber joins us in the Facebook live chat. Jason Fedderson says, think about what you are thinking about. Ooh, perhaps I'll play that at the end of the show today. Let's see. Shane Ballin joins us in the Facebook live chat. He will be here a week from today. Is he with us in studio or is he calling in?
Shane
I forget
is... I believe Shane is coming in at 5 p.m.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Let's see. I think we're caught up there. But yes, 603-250-6007 is the number, 603-250-6007. Rocky says, isn't a banger a sausage in Britain, Alex Whiteley? I think so. Like bangers and mash. It's like sausage and...
that's sausage and...
Potatoes, maybe? Potatoes? I don't know.
Yeah, because they call French fries chips.
Ah, yes. Boy, that's very strange. They have strange names for food.
I don't know what they call chips, though. What do you call chips, then?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Chippier?
I'll tell you. I think
chippier.
I like the names we have for food better. It makes me glad we fought the Revolutionary War.
Stop it.
I'll tell you. I don't want to call food funny names.
You don't think any of our food has funny names?
No, our food has the right names because we're America and we're the best. Our friend Crystal from Illinois is in the Facebook live chat. Oh, Alex says chips are crisps. Oh, well then what do you call crisps? Oh, see, you can't win with this. This is crazy. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. All right. You wanted to talk about the nurses' strike in New York City.
Yes. And, well, this is an issue that is really important. And this isn't something that just New York City, right now what's happening is there's over 7,000 nurses from 2 hospitals in New York City that are on strike. And it's not about their paychecks. And what the issues that they're bringing to light is something that's happening right here at home in New Hampshire. It happens all across this country. And that is the extreme shortage we have of nurses to begin with. I mean, years ago, when I was in the field, like over a decade ago, there was a nursing shortage then, in part because we don't have enough educators. When there's only 100 slots open for a nursing class, then that's only 100 new ones that you're putting out that year. And we need a heck of a lot more. But what happens is, and of course, before COVID, this was already going on. We were already short nurses. We were already making nurses work double shifts. We were already telling nurses to pull more. Take more patients. Now, after COVID, it's even worse. Now there's even less nurses to go around and more of a burden to put up with. And I shouldn't say it that way because that's not the right way to say it. In order to provide good nursing care, you have to have a good patient-to-nurse ratio. You have to give nurses the amount of patients they can handle based on the acuity of these patients. The sicker they are, the less patients there should be in that nurse's purview to be able to properly care for them. I mean, I used to work in an ICU, and you have no idea how many medications and IV lines and monitoring lines that one singular person can need in order to keep them alive in this world, in order to give them hope of another day. And it should be in those situations you have a nurse, say in the ICU, has one patient with an extremely large, heavy patient like that, or 2 patients, maximum 2 patients in an ICU situation. These nurses are out there and they're telling the public we're holding 5 patients, 5 ICU patients to 1 nurse. That is so unsafe. It's unsafe. And that's what the nurses are screaming at the top of their lungs. Please listen to us. These are unsafe conditions. People are going to die and are dying because we have unsafe conditions. Nurses are getting so burnt out, they can't handle the job anymore. I mean, when you're in the medical profession, these nurses take care of patients in the ER, and they're high acuity patients, and they should really only have 4, but they've got 8. And what are they going to do? Say no? Of course not. They're going to take care of these people. They're going to do everything they can. They will kill themselves to take care of people. It gets to the end of their shift and there's no relief. What do? They stay longer. They don't get enough sleep. They're not getting enough rest. They're burnt out. And patients are at risk, and they're going to be continuing to be at risk. And it can exponentially get worse. We know we have a problem. We've known we had a problem, and we still haven't done anything about it. At the height of the pandemic, everybody was out there with signs thanking your healthcare provider. Thank you. We love you. Thank you so much for working. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for keeping my grandma alive. And where are they now? Like, there's no signs out there now. There's nobody honking. There's none of that. But I'll tell you what there is. I've been waiting for 2 hours. How come I'm having to wait too long? That's what they end up facing. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. That's what nurses in emergency rooms are facing. That's what people are facing. People screaming in their faces because they're doing the best they can. Can I tell you, a nurse doesn't want to be late with a med. She doesn't want to be late with a neuro check. She wants to be on it and constantly doing their job. All nurses are like that. I've watched nurses damn near kill themselves trying to take care of patients because how could they walk away and leave a patient unattended? They can't. So they'll kill themselves doing it. These nurses are striking because nobody will listen and change this. The acuities are getting worse. The patient loads are getting worse. The nurses are getting hurt. They're getting hurt. They're getting back injuries. They're falling. They're getting pulled ligaments. I tore part of my shoulder catching a patient years and years and years ago. Tore part of the labrum inside my shoulder. When you're tired and you're exhausted and you're trying to keep up with everything, you also can make mistakes because you're human. You're putting nurses in horrific situations, and we're not giving them the support staff that they need either. We don't have enough technicians. We don't have enough nursing assistants. I had a boss that once said nursing assistants were a dime a dozen because that's how they've been treated. Well, now you need them intensely. We've always needed them, but we've never had enough schools. Now they're starting to have more schools, but still, nobody's changing the work hours. Nobody's watching out for these guys. Most people in healthcare these days work 12-hour shifts. I don't think the people even realize that. Most of your nurses are working 12-hour shifts. So when their end of their shift comes and there's nobody there, they got to stay.
Ron is on the line. He's the one who actually, he had brought this subject up earlier, so he might have something to contribute. Hey, Ron.
Yeah, it's not even a contribute. It's a question. There are overseers as far as guiding how prescriptions are administered and so forth, and that's taken very strictly, and I'm missing all the words that I'm looking for because before I called, I knew what I wanted to say. But what I'm getting at is, if you're not allowed, if you have to meet a certain criteria to be handing out medicines and things like that, isn't there one particular medical, I call it an overseer because that is like the wrong word, to put a stop to what's going on?
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that in relation to prescribers. Only medical...
Well, if you're a doctor, you have to have certain, first of all, the doctors, that bothers me too, how...
they work insane hours.
Pre-med have to work double shifts and all of that. That bothers me.
We damn near kill our docs.
I'm just saying, there seems like there's got to be somewhere that this should be, across the country, that this is not allowed.
Okay,
I mean, if it's happening in New York, it's happening everywhere.
Right,
so you would think that there would be a.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. So in this instance, what New York City, what these nurses are doing, because they're part of a union, is they're trying to get it in their contract and that has been something that's been contracted in a lot of unions. I'm very aware of. Nursing unions have put this in contracts before about what the ratio of nurse to patient is supposed to be dependent upon the acuity of the patient. So, somebody who's in a step-down med-surg unit might have more patients because they're not as high acuity. They don't have as many meds and lines and such. as a nurse who's in the cardiac critical care unit and has somebody on ECMO and can't have any more than that one patient. And what you're asking is whether or not there are rules or people that govern this. There is in various...
there are regulations.
Well, no, there is regulations. There are regulations out there that speak about patient and nurse ratio, but not well enough. Not well enough. And then it gets decided by the individual facilities. So one hospital might run the acuity, the nurse to patient ratio a lot higher than another hospital does. These guys are trying to get it into their contracts that they can only have so many patients to a nurse. And one of their arguments is that right now, while they're on strike with over 7,000 nurses, they're bringing in travel nurses to fill those holes. So if you can do that to fill the holes while they're on strike, why can't you do that while we're not on strike, while we're working, so there's more nurses to handle the load and less patients per nurse, so there's safer work environments, safer for the patients, more people go home, there's more successful situations, is what they're saying.
And you know what else? So the CEOs and the people at the top, they're still voting themselves in pay raises while everybody else is, working double shifts for the same.
Oh yeah.
And they're not even arguing about money on this. They're literally saying you've
right.
to change these patient to nurse rates.
Safety.
Yeah, it's not safe. The nurses part of a nurse's job is to provide a safe care for a patient. They are required to stand up when something isn't safe. I mean, they should want to anyway, right? That's what nurses are supposed to do, and these nurses are literally doing that. They're literally saying.
And what about the doctors? Are they just biting their tongue and not trying to stay out of it, or do they just?
I wouldn't venture to guess that because I'm not close enough to the situation to know if there's any. I know that the Attorney General has stood up and spoken with the nurses, supporting their position. Was actually out there on the strike line earlier today, supporting their position. But this is a problem that goes on here, too.
Taking place with the nurses also happen with the doctors?
Doctors are a whole nother animal, and there's a whole nother thing we can get into there. But what we're trying, but remember, nurses are the ones that are at the patient bedside 24/7. Doctors come in, doctors leave. They do their job. They see the patient. They say the meds. They leave. The nurse is the one there providing every ounce of care, taking care of their oxygen, making sure they're having neurology checks to make sure their brains are intact after a significant injury. I've watched nurses take care of patients on ECMO machines that are and ventilated, that they're literally machines. They're pumping their heart and breathing for them. They have lines like you wouldn't believe with IV pumps all over the place, and these nurses are like this. They're literally like color coded and papers coming off of it, and the nurse is living in that room for those 12 hours with that patient. They don't leave the room. And they literally stay there at bedside. Now you try and
not
give,
really. I guess the answer would be no, right?
No.
Not all nurses are union.
No, not all nurses are union. I've worked union and non-union facilities, and that can be in another conversation we could get into.
Yeah, because they must. If you're non-union, they must say they have no representation. They must be getting abused even, more so.
You could definitely say that.
I would assume so.
You could definitely
Yeah.
say that, and that there. Unions can be good and bad, but when I did work in a union facility, I had real days off. Like if it was my turn to have a holiday off, I had it off and I got paid. When I worked in a non-union facility and it was my turn to have a holiday paid, I worked it, got time and a half, and still worked my other days. Or I was given the holiday off because it was my turn to get it off, but I still worked all of my days. I didn't get a paid day off. I still worked. I just had to work a different day of the week. But that's the kind of stuff that goes on in some of them. So, there's good and bad about unions. I personally think that people should be able to be in one if they want to be in one. I'm not a fan of forcing somebody to be in one if they don't want to be in one. But yeah, that's a whole nother animal to addressing this. But the biggest thing about this situation, and it's vital and it's concerning, and everybody in America should be concerned about this, is the unsafe practices that are going on in hospitals all across this nation, including our own, where nurses are taking care of too many patients and patient care is suffering and unsafe situations are happening and nurses get hurt because there aren't enough hands to do the job correctly.
Make you wonder, though, who's going to be held accountable on mistakes? Are they going to go after the money, meaning the hospital, or after the nurse
Depends on the
She
situation.
made
There
a
are
mistake.
there are mistakes that happen all the time because, guess what? We're human beings, and even medical human beings make mistakes. That does happen. But it depends on the individual situation as far as that. That's going into a big gray area. That's really not about this particular thing.
I've touched a lot of topics. I'm going to let you guys go, and I really want to continue listening because it's a great topic.
All right, Ron, thank you so much for the call.
Thank you.
You got it. Bye-bye. And by the way, Ron, thank you for the pizza Friday night. That was very nice. Very nice. But yeah, we should remind people that you worked in an emergency room. So I
worked in medicine for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Started out as a nursing assistant in nursing homes, did private care. And yeah, I did ICU, CCU, pediatrics. I worked in a NICU. I worked in 2 hospitals, but my first hospital, I really got an opportunity to work in all the different departments.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to do a couple of different jobs. So it was a lot of fun for me. And I really loved, Jordan Hospital in Plymouth, Mass., which I know is now called Beth Israel something. Still my heart of heart, my favorite, the hospital that started me off. And I worked at Concord Hospital. It was a great hospital to work for. But this is an issue that's been going on since even when I was in, and I stopped working in 2013 when I got cancer. So it's been an issue, and it's not gotten addressed. And there's not enough money in education to get more educators, to have more positions, to hire more nurses. In order to have more nurses, you need to educate more. But if we're not investing in those educators, if we're not getting more instructors, we don't have enough to teach them, so you're limited on how many you can train.
Yeah.
So these days, it's a lot easier if you've ever wanted to work in medicine, oh my God, now's the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unheard of to get hired to work for an ambulance service. If you didn't have proper experience, you'd never get into a fire department if you hadn't already cut your teeth somewhere else. But now they're letting people come in and train because, again, medical necessity. We don't have the people to work. We don't have the bodies.
Yeah.
There are hospitals now and nursing facilities that will hire you to train you to be a nurse's aide. They'll pay for your schooling. They'll train you. You'll get licensed. And, and there's ones that are supporting nursing as well. I think there was one school that was offering a 3-year bachelor to get into your nursing degree. Nurses go to school for a minimum of 2 years to get their licenses, as paramedics do as well. NHTI here has a great paramedic program, but we don't have enough spaces for these things. And this has been an ongoing issue that nobody wants to pay attention to. And now you've got a really big situation because since the pandemic, there are less people in medicine in the field. There are people that left and retired. There are people that died. There are a lot of medical workers that we don't talk about that died during the pandemic because they caught it before we had what we have now. They caught it when we were rapidly ventilating people and ended up losing more people. And we certainly weren't proning patients back then. That was unheard of. Now they'll have a whole unit of prone patients. But a lot of our medical providers died taking care of people. So we've lost them. Now we have not enough spots for education. We don't have enough people. We should have more of management just literally having to bite the bullet and you come in, you work. Mm-hmm. I did work in areas where I did see my boss come in and work side by side because most of the bosses are all nurses too. So, and they could still take patients still. And I worked with nurses that would do that. I know there was a couple of supervisors I had in the unit in one of my old hospitals and they would come in. They'd come into the middle of the night and take over a shift because there wasn't anybody else to do that. But that's still 1 or 2 bodies. That's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. And you tell these nurses to take on more patients. You give a nurse 8 patients to monitor. These are people who are sick. You're in the hospital because you're sick. You're not in a long-term care facility. You're in an acute care situation where you need help now. You have IV medications. You have testing that needs to be done. You have all of these things, nurses' notes, taking your vital signs, watching for you, making sure you have help when you need to get up or something, whatever it is. All of this is time consuming. All of this, you want that nurse to have their attention on you, right? They're looking at your heart monitor. You want to make sure they're looking at your heart monitor. But if they're splitting themselves up and they're trying to watch 10 different heart monitors, how well is that working out? 10 different patients, how well is that working out? It's not. And you're burning out our nurses so badly. There are people leaving the field because they just can't take it anymore. It's gotten that brutal. And no, that's not what they signed up for. They signed up to take care of people and to save lives. That's what they signed up for. They didn't sign up to be abused. And that's, unfortunately, this is the situation we're in. And the lack of staffing makes such an unsafe situation, not just for our patients, but for the staff themselves. This is how they get hurt. This is how their backs get thrown out. This is how you get torn ligaments. This is how it happens because you're abusing your staff. So we should all be taking this New York City situation seriously. We should be listening to them. I personally feel we should be supporting them and be more supportive of our own. When's the last time you thanked a healthcare provider? Because I tell you what, everybody was saying, thank you so much during the height of the pandemic. Nobody says it anymore. I hear from so many people that I'm friends with in the medical field that they're so exhausted and burnt, and nobody says thank you to them. If anything, they scream at them that they didn't move fast enough. So just think about that. I know it stinks when you have to wait, but if you're waiting for something, that you're not dying. Somebody else is trying to die, and that's why you're having to wait. Or be a little understanding. Cut your nurses, cut your techs, your nursing assistants, cut them some slack to understand that they're trying to take care of everybody to the very best of their ability. That's what they signed up for. That's what they're there for.
603-250-6007 is the number if you'd like to get in with a call. 603-250-6007. Alex Whiteley, our friend from the UK, said in the chat room, there was a comment about the lowest paid people on the field being the EMTs who saved that NFL player who went into cardiac arrest last week. What a mad world we live in.
That's usually the case, though.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
I think my first EMT job was just slightly over minimum wage.
Yeah.
Just slightly.
We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hi, Matty. It's Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hey. Hello, Jenny, my love. How are you?
Hi, sweetie. How are you doing? What's up today?
Hey. I want to say a couple of things here. When you have a nurse and she's running around, she's not your waitress.
Right.
She's not your waitress to go down and get you a ginger ale or get you some applesauce at the night. That poor lady's running around. When I was in the hospital, and they're there to give you medicines. They're there to do that. They're not there to ring the buzzer and say, I didn't get my little tapioca pudding. Could you make sure you get this? And they're on their runs to help other people.
I'm going to be honest with
and
you,
that,
hon.
That used to aggravate me.
You know what? Let me help you out with that one a little bit. Let me be honest here. They'd rather that you call them than you try to get up yourself and get it. They don't want you to.
Oh
fall.
no, I understand that. But
yeah.
I had a patient near me that was very rude.
That
every
happens.
5 minutes, and the poor girl. She was in another room trying to help another one of her ladies to do a new wrap on a wound or something, and he keeps buzzing, and he's very rude.
Yeah. It's always the ones that should buzz that don't. Like, why didn't you call me?
I never did. They would come in and say, Gary, are you still alive? I'm like, yeah.
Well,
do you need anything? No, I'm fine. I got my water, and I'm watching some stupid TV show. Are you sure? Okay, we'll be in to give you. Hey, whenever it's my turn, And I said, wow, but. Yeah, my respect is all to them,
No, that's good.
I've seen them get hit in the ER, thrown against the wall because,
oh my God,
they couldn't hold that patient down, and some are coming in and doing double shifts. I've seen them come in and do double shifts, and total respect. I could never do that job. And I have a friend of mine, her daughter is a OR nurse. And boy, she's got 3 kids, and she's like, oh man, if she comes home and she snaps once in a while with the kids, just go, oh, I'm sorry. It's just been a long, long day,
Most medical providers these days are doing 12-hour shifts. So when they're staying late, they're only supposed to stay for 4 hours, and then they max out. But that didn't used to be the law. It used to be that they could mandate us forever.
I'm sure some of that got bent too during COVID.
I've seen the girl come in and do her shift, and then they said, "Can you hold off for a little while? Can you?" And these girls, you know, some of them were still going to school, and I said, well, I got, you know, and then when I was at the hospital, I needed somebody to watch over me, and they would sit there and study. She goes, can I study? You don't need it? I said, no, go ahead and study if you need to. I'm good. If I'll moan or groan if you need something, you know. And so I always like to help, and I like to help them. I watched them how they were so tired and everything, and I've seen a lot, and I have so much respect for them.
Yeah,
I truly do.
Good,
you know.
good.
But I just wanted to put my 2 cents on that, and you know.
All right,
got you.
That was my thing. I'm you know, we all got to get up and we got to all really, you know.
But remember, call, don't fall.
We got to cheer our nurses, but not sit out there with a cowbell and you know, and sit out there and go yay, yay, and a little sign, we love you. It's no, we got to go in there and say they need this, they need that, so let's do it. You know.
All right, very good. Well said, Gary.
All right,
we appreciate the call.
All right. I love you both. I love
right.
you, Jenny.
Right back at you.
Hey, I made some spaghetti tonight, so I'm Chef Gary.
Yummy.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
No bread. I'm behaving myself. 10 more pounds.
Oh wow, good for you.
Congratulations.
But I love you both.
All right, we love you, Gary.
I love you guys, and I know you're my family, so I love you. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. All right, bye-bye. Thank you for the call. All right, always nice to hear from Gary. If anyone would like to get in with a quick call, we're almost out of time, but we can take a quick one at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. Melanie mentioned in the chat room they've been doing that in nursing homes, and then the nurses on staff, bringing in travel nurses, and then the nurses on staff find out the traveling nurses are paid double the amount they are. Guess how that goes over? Yeah.
They also, but their entire structure is completely different.
Yeah. And we have a call.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Matt Connerton Unleashed. Who's this?
This is Shane. How you doing? Shane Dallin.
Hey, Shane. How are you?
I'm doing great, I looking forward to being on you guys at 5 o'clock there. I'm telling everybody about your show. I think it's great. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. Well, we look forward to having you on. That will be a week from today. And, looking forward to that, Shane.
Wonderful. If you have the time, I have a quick little blurb about my grandfather, Clyde, which I think is just so amazing. He was on that, WMUR. He had his Clyde Joy. A lot of people know him in the country world. As the granddaddy of New England hillbilly music.
Oh, okay.
He's in the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1989.
Oh, wow.
He was entered in there, yeah, and he's got a pretty good background, interesting, with WMUR, and he had a show on there for 16 years.
He had a show on Channel 9 here in Manchester?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he had a show. He was with Willie Mae, his wife at the time. So, yeah, it was called Joy in the Morning, and he had it on there for many years, yeah. And you can look him up, online, and I think this is really cool. It just takes about 2 minutes. I'll just read this quick couple paragraphs.
Sure.
So this is Clyde Joy, known as the granddaddy of New England country music, born in Manchester, New Hampshire on December 9th, 1916, and the early 1930s radio show Montana Slim Carter. Okay, and Clyde was influenced by him. So in 1938, he began broadcasting on WFEA in Manchester. I believe it might be the same building you're in.
No.
As a soloist. No, different place. Different
building,
and
but
perfecting
not
his
far.
own style of yodeling with Baron West, and he's known as the Dixie Yodeler. So Clyde, to make a long story short, he opened up the Circle 9 Ranch in Epsom, and a lot of people don't realize, but the Circle 9 was for Channel 9, so they had sponsored that, and they had cameras. And it was a big hub. I mean, he shared the stage with Loretta Lynn, the big trio, and Johnny Cash, to name a few. He passed away when he was 93 or so, but he continued to play at the Deerfield Fair for many years, and he was on Chronicle. They did a piece on him at the end. But what a yodeler, what a guy, funny, and the fact that he had the show on for 16 years, and I myself, just kind of recently started, I got my start up at Charlie's Hill. It's a small venue, and a lot of people are starting to hear about it. but it's a really special place, small out in the woods, not in the woods, but Lebanon, Maine. And it's a great place with lots of great music, lots of resonation of different musicians that have come through there from all over the country. It's a really good underground music scene there. So I just want to give a shout out there to Charlie's Hill, Terry and Mike Merrill. So you can find them on Google, and you can look them up, Charlie's Hill Museum. And I'm really looking forward to coming on there and playing a few originals.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Shane. Well, we are coming up to the end of the show, but looking forward to meeting you next week and playing some music, and that's going to be great.
That sounds great. I'm looking forward to it, my friend, and you guys have a great day. Keep up the good work, and we'll be listening.
All right, Shane. Nice. All right, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, take it easy.
All right, Shane Ballin. So he'll be with us 1 week from today here in studio. Mm-hmm. So looking forward to that. Do you have anything to add on what we were talking about before we run out of time? Or?
Yeah, just, be attentive to your nurses, be kind to them, but be aware of this and support them. You want this to change. You don't want this to stay the way that it is, because we're going to lose people. There's no doubt about that. Nurses can only be stretched so thin. They've got one body. And when you give them too many patients, that's when things go wrong. People get hurt. People lose their lives. We should be supporting these nurses in New York City and encouraging the same thing to occur all across this nation, including right here in New Hampshire, to make sure that the nurse-to-patient ratio is safe, that we give the best possible care that we can, and that we continue to support the medical staff that we used to cheer for and hold signs for. Let's remember that, because they're still out there. They're still doing this. Just one final note. When you get the next snowstorm here in New Hampshire, think about this. There are tons of nurses and technicians and people that are sleeping at the hospital. They don't go home.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make they sleep at the hospital, get up and go have breakfast, and then come back on shift to make sure that they're there to take care of you. And so make sure that the nurse that worked all through the night can come off shift. And that nurse might go climb into a bed too and take a few hours sleep before they come back out on the floor. That's what happens when there's storms around here.
Yeah.
So be aware of that and be supportive. You want the best medical care in the world? Well, we don't get that unless we support the nurses. Period.
All right. Very good. Well said. Well, we are out of time. So, Jenny, thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who called in today. And you want to plug your website and whatever else?
Sure, absolutely. You can find more about me on JennCoffey.com, JENNCOFFEY.com. My writings appear in The Mighty on a regular basis. And you can find some of my artwork and other things on the website, as well as links to mattconnerton.com.
Yes,
where you can find merch and all kinds of great stuff there, too.
Yes. Very good. Yes, and if you missed any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org and at my website, mattconnerton.com. And, and by the way, too, I wanted to mention, I heard him say at the end of the morning show today, that Peter White indicated that it's his birthday. So happy birthday, Peter White.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes. And of course,
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Peter. Happy birthday to you.
And the morning show, of course, weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. here on WMNH 95.3 with a replay from 2 to 4 p.m. right before this program. So make sure you're here bright and early for the morning show.
You're going to have to tune in tomorrow to hear about what happens tonight with the vote on rules in Congress.
Yes.
They are arguing as we speak.
That's right. So, yes, should be quite an evening. All right. And I'm going to close with this because I saw our friend Jason Federson mentioned it in the chat room, a little Dark Brandon's Think About What You'd Think About remix from the Remix Bros. And that's going to do it for us for now. I'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Please have a seat. With your permission, I'm going to take my coat off. Welcome to the White House, everybody. But guess what?